And
telling you about Trina.
Welcome, everyone. This is our very first virtual BYOB, and what does that stand for? Becoming Your Own Boss. My name is Jeanette Vitruba. This is my family with 6 of our 7 grandchildren, and I just want to welcome you tonight. I want to thank you for being here, whether you're joining us actually on the date that we're recording this or you're listening to a recording. We are just happy that you've shown some interest, and I want to tell you that tonight this is really just to pique your curiosity. So I want you to get your questions answered, but hopefully tonight we will be giving you lots to think about, and I'm just thrilled to be sharing. So again, like I said, my name's Jeanette Vitruba. I'm a National Marketing Director with the Juice Plus Company. I have actually been with them for 18 years, and it's just amazing how my life changed once I heard about Juice Plus and the business model behind the Juice Plus Company. So my story begins when I heard about Juice Plus from a girl that cut my hair. My children were 7, 11, and 14 then, and this is a picture of my youngest son, Chet. He is now 25, but 18 years ago at the age of 7, he suffered with asthma, allergies, eczema, and vitiligo. And for those of you who don't know what vitiligo is, it's an autoimmune disease that where you lose patches of pigment in your skin. And Chet, at the age of 3, after a sunburn, developed vitiligo. And as you can see in this picture on the left, he has a large white patch around one of his eyes. This picture was actually taken about 2 years after he got started on Juice Plus, and so it had already started repigmenting. He was about 9 in this picture. But what happened was, after the diagnosis of vitiligo, he then also developed, between the ages of 3 and 7, asthma, allergies, eczema, and by the age of 7, he was on 7 prescriptions. I was miserable, he was miserable, we were all miserable. When your child's sick, it affects the entire family. So we had sleepless nights, we were missing lots of school, he was at the doctor quite a bit, and he had made his way up to 7 prescriptions. Well, I heard about Juice Plus, fruits and vegetables in a capsule, and I thought, wow, we need this. I had no idea it would help him, but I knew we didn't eat enough fruits and vegetables every day. So we started on Juice Plus, and within a couple of weeks, I just noticed huge changes. He wasn't scratching himself raw. He wasn't waking up in the middle of the night. His behavior was better at school, and that was something that his teacher noticed. And then also so we started taking him off all of his medication, and within a couple of months, he was off everything. It's been 18 years now. Even though I was told his vitiligo would probably never repigment, it would probably be relentless and go all over his body, I'm happy to say, you can see the picture on the right, it's about 95% repigmented. And so what I've learned along the way, it's all autoimmune related. So not only did his asthma, allergies, eczema, but also his vitiligo has pretty much gone away. And he has not had a prescription for any of those things, and really no prescriptions in the last 18 years. So back then, I knew the product was amazing, even before it helped my son. So I wanted to learn a little bit more about the business model because I knew I would be sharing this. I love good news, and when I heard about Juice Plus, I thought this is something I need to share. And then when I learned more about the business model, I got really excited because I knew it was something I could do as a stay-at-home mom and make a little income, at the very least pay for my own Juice Plus, and that was really my big goal. And so, but what I found was that with this business model, I could actually make a fortune because this is a product that everyone needs every single day. It's consumable, womb to tomb, and I knew there were people, I knew all kinds of people who did not eat enough raw fruits and vegetables. So I want to share with you a little bit about our business model and why residual income is so intriguing and so interesting and desirable, and why anyone can do this. Anyone can do this. So we're going to click the screen now. And I don't know if you've heard of Robert Kiyosaki, but he is a billionaire many times over. He has a couple of amazing books. The very first one I read was Rich Dad, Poor Dad. And the second one that I read was Cash Flow Quadrant. So I just want to take a few minutes here and share this Cash Flow Quadrant image with you. And hopefully this will just intrigue you. Obviously, you're going to have lots of questions, but let's go over this real quick. So there are 4 ways to produce income, and all of us are in one of these quadrants. So most of us, 95% of the world, are on the left side of the quadrant. They are either employees or they're self-employed, which means you own a job, you have your own small business, or you are a professional, like a doctor, a lawyer, a dentist. So let's look at the employee first. The employee absolutely trades time for dollars. So you show up to work and you get paid. And this is 5% of the wealth. Even though 95% of people are on this side of the quadrant, it only brings in 5% of the wealth in the world. And I knew, trying to raise my children, my husband worked many, many hours, that it was not feasible for me to actually trade dollars for hours. I needed to be at home, and I wanted to be with my children. So when I learned about this, the one at the bottom is also not leveraging. If you own your own small business, then if you can't be at work that day, or if you can't work for a month, then your business could actually go away. So basically, at one point, I owned a small aerobics studio. And when I couldn't be there, the place would fall apart. So basically, the business owned me. I didn't necessarily own it. So what I learned, though, about the Juice Plus business and our business model is that I could move to the right side, which is a business owner or an investor. Now, in order to be an investor, you need lots and lots of money. So I really didn't have that. That is leveraging money to make you money. But in this upper right-hand corner, a business owner, you own a system. And on the right side of the quadrant is where 95% of the income is made. If you can believe it, 95% of our wealth comes from the right side. And what I found with the Juice Plus business model is that I could build other people, I could help them start their own virtual franchise, and I would be leveraging the efforts of others. There's also lots of tax benefits on the right side that you don't necessarily get on the left side. So when I learned that I could start small, everyone starts small in this business. It's not a get rich quick, but it can be a get rich slow. And it can be for everyone. And that's what was exciting to me. I did not finish college, and I always wondered, what could I do? But I definitely wanted to do something that was important, something that impacted people, and I wanted to make a lot of money. So it has been 18 years, and I had, at my very own pace, while raising my family, been able to grow a very large business with a large full-time income. We have reps now all over the United States and actually in about 7 different countries around the world. And these are all many people that I have never met before. So, and this pays residually. So even if I'm not working that month, the paycheck still comes because I get paid on all the work that I've done in the past. So hopefully this has just intrigued you, and you are looking for more information, and we're happy to get back with you. But right now, I'd love to introduce my daughter-in-law, Allie Vitruva. She is an RN, a cardiac intensive care nurse at Children's Hospital in St. Louis. She's also a transplant coordinator. She is the beautiful wife of our oldest son, Mitch, and the mom of these three of my 7 grandchildren. So I am going to have Allie jump on in here and take my place. Thank you so much, guys.
Hi, I'm Allie. I'm so excited to be with you guys tonight. And I can tell you that 10 years ago, I never in a million years thought I'd be standing here having this conversation with any of you. As Jeanette said, I'm a pediatric intensive care nurse. I went into that career because I really, really wanted to do it. And I was excited about it. And I didn't know what I didn't know. So Juice Plus started showing up at my apartment when I lived in New York, working in the pediatric ICU out there. I was in my early 20s. I was young, I was thin, I was cocky, and I was naive. I was under the impression that skinny was healthy. I bought into that notion, and so I just assumed that I was healthy. I had never heard of this, but I met a very cute boy in a bar on a Monday night, and his mom said, "How much do you like this girl?" And my now husband said, "I really like her." And so she said, "Well, if this girl is the future mother of my grandbabies, she better be in Juice Plus." So she started shipping it to me out in New York. Now, at the time, I had never heard of it. I knew nothing about it. It just existed. And so I wanted to take it because I wanted the boy's mom to like me. That was all there was to it. And it wasn't until I started to see some health changes in my own body that I even was willing to explore what this was. I was under the impression that I'm a nurse. I know everything I need to know about health. And it wasn't until then that I realized I actually knew a lot about disease and very little about health. And when I started to see some of the things that I had struggled with go away, it opened this entire Pandora's box for me. And it created this desire for me to understand and know more. What was happening? Why did I go from being a chronic antibiotic user with scalp psoriasis to somebody who hasn't filled a prescription in almost a decade? How did that happen? And so
Sorry.
No, you're okay. We're going to go back to the screen.
We realized they couldn't see you, but it doesn't matter even when we take you off. Okay. Go ahead.
And so click. I've got my tech girl
Sorry.
over here.
Your tech girl's not doing so good.
There you go. So we're starting to see that. We're starting to see that there's some discussion about food being medicine and why food could be the best medicine of all. This was the cover of Time in February of this year. So this is just 2 months ago. This was the cover, was this whole discussion of food and how it impacts our bodies. The fact that food is the foundation for health and that it can also completely be the root of it could be subsidizing your illness. So I heard a quote that said, food can either be the most powerful form of medicine or the slowest form of poison. And so we need to make those choices. I can tell you that I did not know that. I was a nurse. I did not know that. We're really not talking about this in nursing schools. We're rarely talking about this in med schools. But we're starting to hear that we need to be eating approximately 9 to 13 servings of fruits and vegetables every day. But they should be vine ripened. Oh, and they should be probably locally sourced. And they should be of a wide variety. Oh, and no chemicals or pesticides should be sprayed on them. That is a lot to take on. And I can tell you that I have 3 little kids. I have a husband who works full time. I run a very successful business and have a few other irons in the fire. So I cannot commit to growing, shopping, prepping, cutting, and eating all of that every single day. And I am so grateful that I do not have to. I don't have to take that on. Juice Plus is salad bar in a capsule. It is fruits and vegetables in a capsule. What they did is partner with some mid-sized family farms, find people who are really good at growing certain things, put plants right there for processing. They allow the fruits and vegetables to vine ripen and then are able to take them into these facilities, use all the viable pieces of the fruits and vegetables that have nutritious value, grind it down, dry it out, the sugar, salt, water leaves, and you're left with these amazing plant nutrients. That is what exists at the end of the day. And that's what they're putting in these capsules. These capsules are the best thing ever. You sit there and think about all the food that we should be eating every single day that most people can't, don't, or won't. And I am so glad. People think we eat really well, but we definitely do not eat 30 different servings of fruits and vegetables every single day. We sure don't have parsley every day. We sure don't get beets on the regular. I do now because we have this really simple salad bar in a capsule. But I really want to emphasize the fact that food is good for everybody. This is what I was taking as my prenatal for my kids. My daughter just turned 8 months old today. We open these capsules and put them right into her mouth. It is food. And if you open these into like a bowl of oatmeal, it will completely liquefy the oatmeal within a few hours. There are live enzymes that are present in food, and they are intact when they are in these capsules. As soon as they reliquefy, they're re-energized and they come back to life. I am blown away by the fact that it's something so crazy, and yet the concept is so simple. On top of that, we're gonna go another step further. There is a separate entity, a third party called the NSF, that comes in and looks at the Juice Plus products. And they guarantee that every single thing Juice Plus claimed was in that bottle is what's in there. And there is nothing in there that they didn't claim, which means you don't have to worry about fungicides, herbicides, pesticides, heavy metals. How many things are you hearing about these days that are contaminated? And because there's a third party validation from the NSF, we do not have to worry about that. So that gives my mama heart so much peace, knowing that I am giving my family the purest quality nutrition I could ever buy. I'm sure it's way more nutrient dense and pure than most of what I buy at the grocery store. But then they're taking it one step further. There are 38 different double-blind, placebo-controlled, gold standard research studies that talk about the value and the way Juice Plus impacts your bodies. And you guys, this isn't being done at some Juice Plus lab. These are happening at universities all over the world. Yale, MD Anderson, University of Maryland. The places that are looking into this have amazing reputations. And they're looking at this product for, I don't know, let's think about the different places that they've researched in the body. Bioavailability, DNA protection, skin health, wound healing, cardiovascular protection, heart health. Oh, well, I just said that. The immune system, chronic systemic inflammation. That is kind of the root cause of so much chronic disease. So my favorite thing is that food works on everything. Good nutrition helps everything. And so the root and the pieces of all of these things, we're not taking different elements of Juice Plus and testing it on different disease processes. Food is influential in disease process. And so I am so unbelievably grateful. This product, this has given my family this existence of so much health. We have not had a sick visit or a prescription in 8 years. 8 years. My kids are 5, 3, and 8 months old, you guys. That's crazy. But on top of it, this company has given our family our dream. It has brought me home. It has allowed me to be present in my kids' lives every single day without putting the financial burden of our family solely on the shoulders of my husband. And for that, I will always be grateful. Now to dovetail, I get to bring up one of the most badass boss babes you could ever want to hear from. Julie Muse is such a wonderful friend of mine. She's a mama to these ridiculously cute little kiddos, and she has one of my favorite stories. I'm so excited for you guys to get to hear from her.
Awesome. Okay, well, we hear that maybe you guys can't see us, and we're sorry about that. This is our first time, so thank you for joining. I am more than honored to share with you my journey in figuring out whether this industry was worth my time. So we're going to dive in here, because this was where I was about 4.5 years ago when I found Juice Plus. My mom had lost her health to rheumatoid arthritis about 2 years prior, and I had spent 2 years looking into autoimmune disease and the link between nutrition and disease. And everything I was learning was pointing me towards fruits and vegetables and the fact that truly our diet was killing us. Okay, so I was learning this information for 2 years when my sister dragged me to this event to learn about Juice Plus. And at the time I was kind of annoyed. I assumed it would be like everything else out there that has a big warning label on it that you can't have it if you're pregnant, nursing, or under the age of 12, and likely the first ingredient's aspartame. But when I learned what it really was that night, I was totally blown away. I thought, oh my gosh, somebody just hit the easy button on juicing, and this makes total sense. I came home that night for the product for myself and for my husband, and he looked at me like I was crazy. And I said, if there is one thing that is worth investing in every day, every week, every month, every year of my life and my children's life, it is our health. Because if you do not have your health, you don't have anything. And this product made such simple sense to me. But what did not make sense to me was this business at all. That night, my sister had dragged me to the event, And she wanted to get on Juice Plus, and I wanted to get on Juice Plus. So the girl hosting the event said, you should totally be a rep. You're going to earn money back on your own product, and you can earn on your sister's product. And my sister looked at me and she said, Julie, I'm going to be a rep. You should be a rep with me. And I looked at her and I said, I will never, ever do one of those things. And looking back, I'm not totally certain what it was that made me have that reaction. But I really believe it's that I didn't think that people could earn a real income doing a business like this. But what did make sense to me was this, right? All of this amazing, beautiful concentration encapsulated. I knew that not just me, but everybody needed more of this. So I got started on the product, and 2 months in, my sister and I had an amazing transformation. I was sick all the time with allergies and sinus infections. I was on an antibiotic about every 6 to 8 weeks for a sinus infection. I had been doing that for so many years. That was my normal. I didn't even think it was weird. And so when I hit the 2-month mark and I hadn't had a sinus infection yet, I thought, that's really interesting. I found that I was happier, which I later learned over 80% of our serotonin is made in our gut. So it made sense. I was just feeding my gut well, and my body knew what to do with that. I found that I had more energy. And at the time I was a working mom with a 3-month-old at home that was nursing. So I should have been more tired than I'd ever been in my life. And I actually had, both my sister and I had a weight loss experience. And Juice Plus isn't exactly a weight loss product, but it's such a catalyst for change that many people end up seeing that as a change in their body. And so 2 months in, when I'd had this awesome experience, I wanted to know why. And so I started looking more into the product and more into the research behind it, like Allie just mentioned. And the more I looked into the research behind it, I thought, oh my gosh, everybody deserves to know about this. I started thinking of my friends from high school who already had autoimmune disease in their late 20s. I thought of, my aunts and uncles who are dealing with things. I thought of my friend whose child has asthma. I mean, people were just coming into my mind, and I thought, I have to tell them about it. So at that time, I decided to kind of reluctantly partner with the Juice Plus company, having not much of a vision at all, but just feeling like people deserved to know about this. But in plugging into, or in becoming part of this company, I got plugged into this community. And when I checked into the community, I really started to realize a little bit more about my current situation. So I have a background in IT staffing. At the time, I had a very lucrative career. I had built it up over 9 years. I was the breadwinner in our family, earning a 6-figure income. I loved what I did until I didn't love it anymore, right? Until I had my first baby and things kind of shifted. And what was important before was no longer important. And I kind of realized through looking at a different way of earning money that I have what I've now dubbed as the golden handcuffs, because they paid me really, really well. But I was totally stuck. I found myself actually being jealous of women who would tell me, oh, well, I'm just going to stay home because, my income and daycare, it's kind of a wash. I might as well stay home. And I literally thought, man, I wish I was in their shoes. So here I'd spent my, 8 years building up this awesome business that I kind of wasn't super grateful for anymore because I was handcuffed. I was handcuffed to a boss. I was handcuffed to a vacation schedule. I was handcuffed to a commute. I was handcuffed to, giving up 40 to 60 hours of my week every day. And I didn't really see an end in sight, right? I just had the first child and I knew we wanted more. And I didn't see how that was going to get any better. I also realized, I heard this quote once, actually, I think I made this quote up, but it says, never settle for a situation where someone else tells you your next goal. And it kind of dawned on me that my whole life, really, up until this point, I just kind of would go to that person, right, and say, what do I do next? So it was go to college, get a degree, okay, did that, get a job in sales, did that, hit this quota, did that, get this promotion, did that. I would literally go to my boss every month and just say, okay, what do you want from me now? It was never an original thought, right? I had never taken a second to dream. And actually, Jeanette has a notebook right in front of me that says, dreams, are you dreaming? I didn't even know what dreaming was back then. Are you kidding me? I just was looking for an income. There wasn't much more to it. And so I realized I wanted to get off of that. I wanted it maybe to be an original thought. And then I had this question asked of me that totally changed my perspective. I was listening to a personal development podcast, and this woman said, I want you to consider in your current role, best case scenario, if you work your butt off, for the next 5 or 10 years, where could you be best case scenario? And I thought, okay, if I work really hard, I could maybe have my boss's job in about 5 or 10 years. And she said, then I want you to consider that person and their lifestyle, and is that what you want? Well, at that time, my boss's boss, you know, he worked in Kansas City, but he worked in St. Louis, but he lived in Kansas City. So he had these beautiful children that he rarely got to see. He was here most of his time. He was that person that was just really stressed out. Like when he walked into the room, you could feel that stressful energy off of him. So guess what? He wasn't very healthy, right? Because we know stress is like the silent killer. And he was traveling like crazy, so his diet wasn't very wasn't very good. And if I thought my handcuffs were gold, his were much tighter and much more golden, because we worked in a commissioned role. So what you built up, if you left it. So you were stuck. And I thought, it kind of dawned on me, well, actually, and then in the meantime, I'm plugging into the Juice Plus community. And I'm meeting people, like you just got this short introduction from Jeanette. If you don't know her well, I really suggest you get on a 3-way call with her and hear more about her story. But she is one of many people that have built a life for themselves. And what they had was health, wealth, and vibrancy. And I thought, that's what I want. In 5 or 10 years, I want to move towards that. But here I was, and I spent 50 to 60 hours a week on a path that I didn't even like where it put me in the next 5 or 10 years. And I had never really considered that before. But this company was opening my eyes to that. So here was my deal. I was super hung up about network marketing. I mean, I think most people are. However, it's definitely shifting, that it's becoming more mainstream and people are realizing this is a phenomenal way to earn an income. But I decided I had to look into it. I had to feel good about it. I had to get all my, T's crossed and my I's dotted. So I had to figure out who was recommending network marketing. And while you may not agree with everybody on this image, you probably would want to trade pocketbooks with some of them. I found out that Robert Kiyosaki, Les Brown, Warren Buffett, Richard Branson are recommending that network marketing is a great way for people to earn an income. Actually, Warren Buffett, I believe, just bought a network marketing company, and it was asked of him if he could go back like 25 years ago, what he would do, and he said, start a network marketing company. So I realized that some really brilliant minds were supporting this industry that I had totally rolled my eyes at. This is Dave Ramsey. Many people look to him for financial advice. He's someone that we follow. And I had seen that he had said, the worst thing you could do is get a second job. The best thing you can do is start a home-based business. And like Jeanette mentioned earlier in the call about some of the tax benefits that there are from starting a home-based business, it is brilliant. And why would you start a situation where you could trade more of your time for dollars and be more stuck, right? And then I learned this. So this was the 2013 global sales. So the NFL is a $9.5 billion company, $9.5 billion in sales. Music is $15 billion. Movie is $88 billion. Natural foods is a $90 billion industry. Network marketing is a $178 billion industry. And actually in, preparing this presentation, I was Googling some information, and I think it was like Warren Buffett network marketing. And every article I found was, is it a scam? Is it for real? Here's the truth, people. It's a $178 billion industry. This is far from a scam. This is very, very real. But here's what I want you to think about. If somebody came to you right now and said, I just want to give you a little slice, just a tiny little bit of the NFL, would you take it? I know I would. I would jump at that opportunity. But here's the truth. I wake up to a much better slice every single morning with my network marketing business. A little slice of a $178 billion very real industry that is putting very real money into people's pockets. So that's the deal. What is network marketing? What does it do? Well, instead of investing about 30 to 40%, which is what many companies invest into advertising, they pay that instead to the person who already shared that information. So we all know, everybody knows that word of mouth is the best form of advertising. So instead of putting money out there hoping that they'll get someone to buy, they are brilliant and they decided just to compensate the person that already was responsible for the sale, right? So they don't lose any money up front on advertising. So network marketing companies pay 40% in commissions to distributors. So of those $178 billion, it adds up to $71 billion a year, $6 billion a month, $6 billion a month. There are real people out there earning some of this income, $200 million a day. But the truth is that by the time I figured out this information, I had already been plugged into this community enough and seen enough people. And it is not like one or two, right? See enough people that had built up these very lucrative incomes to realize that this was real. That $200 million a day being paid out to people is very, very real. So what is the difference, right? In this opportunity, you are able to earn, you have the opportunity to earn residual income, okay? So what is residual income compared to regular income? Well, a lot of people call it mailbox money. That's why there's a photo of a mailbox. Because you have residual bills that always come in, right? So you have your water bill, your air bill, everything that comes in every month. Well, residual income is money that you can earn past the point of sale. But many of us are over here in this regular income category, right? Our income is growing linear. If we give them this much time, they give us this much money. It's a straight shot. We know exactly what we're getting. We're typically financially dependent on our job. That's where I was at that point. We usually don't have enough time to enjoy our income. That's for sure where I was at that point. And then the big kicker, right? If work stops, your income stops. But what is residual income? Well, residual income, like I said, is income that you can earn past the point of sale. And it has the opportunity to grow exponentially, to grow on itself. And many people that have this consistent residual income have the opportunity to have true financial independence with time freedom. And the income can continue to be created. It is not tied to you being at a desk, giving a certain amount of hours every single day. So after looking more into the industry and what I could create with this industry and learning that it is very, very real, I thought I already love the Juice Plus product. It is. If you don't know more about the Juice Plus product, you got to learn more about the Juice Plus product. That is the best part. However, I thought I got to learn more about this company. And so what is the company? Well, I'm going to go through this real fast. We are mission driven. We have the opportunity to start a virtual franchise for only $50 a year. You heard that correctly. It's $50 a year to partner with the Juice Plus company. We have no inventory, no territory, no quotas. We're a $14 billion company that has been around for 48 years with the opportunity to earn residual income, exponential growth, time freedom. At the top level, you can earn a corporate benefits package. So Jeanette, who just opened up this call, has a corporate benefits package for her whole entire family that she has provided for, I don't even know how many years now. And myself and Emily, who's going to share at the end, also are able to partake in some of the benefits provided by the Juice Plus company. We offer the most researched, largest selling food label brand with an NSF certification. We give free Juice Plus to children, which shows our mission. We are driven by the media. We'll talk about that soon. Doctor recommended in the booming, incredibly successful wellness industry. If you want to be somewhere right now earning an income, it should be in the wellness industry. We are global, so you can have a global business tomorrow. We are product driven and we are consumable. So Jeanette talked about that at the beginning, but I want to reiterate this because this really opened up my eyes. This product is for everyone, right? 6 months old, either in utero or at 6 months old. My 6-month-old son ate the same capsules that my 87-year-old grandma eats. They eat them every single day, and at the bottom of a bottle, they need more. That makes sense for a financial opportunity that you can invest your time into. Of course, I have people I shared this with 4.5 years ago that are still taking Juice Plus, so I'm still earning off of them 4.5 years later. Many of them had wonderful experiences and decided to share it with other people. So we're earning even more, right? And that goes into your unlimited potential. But you had to get in the beginning, and we've been around for 25 years. So it's really not a good time. No, I'm teasing. When I learned this, it really opened my eyes. This is called the S-curve, the product life cycle. I want you to imagine a cell phone, right? Okay, so think about this infancy time. There was a time period where, 1 in 100 people had a cell phone. Maybe your one friend or, someone you knew had the big bulky cell phone that came in a bag. But within a very quick amount of time during infancy, they came up with a way to make it more affordable. They came up with a way to make it more user-friendly. And in a very short amount of time right here in expansion, it went from like 1 in 100 people had a cell phone to, 9 in 10 people had a cell phone. So the Juice Plus product has been around for 25 years. And what a lot of people think when they hear network marketing or when they wrongly think pyramid scheme is they think you had to be in at the beginning to make an income. But that is not true. Because when I heard that we are only in 2% of homes, my jaw almost dropped to the floor. Because I know that there are many people out there looking for a product just like this that don't even know that it exists. And what's been going on over the past 25 years during this infancy time period is 3 things have happened. Number 1, we decided to conduct research, which is making us the most thoroughly researched product in the world. Nothing comes close. Nothing can catch up. There really is nothing out there like Juice Plus. There is no competition. If somebody wants Juice Plus, they have to get it through somebody who's partnered with a company like us. At the same time, people are getting sicker and sicker and sicker. They're frustrated. They're realizing that Western medicine is putting a Band-Aid on their symptoms and it is not giving them a solution. And the third thing is all of this information is coming out regarding the fact that food really is medicine. You can watch the news, you can watch Netflix, watch documentaries. You're going to learn that plants are the answer. And here we are, so poised with 25 years of encapsulated plants that you can't even argue with. It's such a beautiful thing. So the truth is, we're at around 2 to 3% of homes, and we will be on almost every countertop. This is going to explode. It already is. It's already starting because it makes perfect sense. And so I thought that is really lucrative. That is really exciting. This will be on every countertop, and I want to be a part of that. I want to be a part of I want to be one of the people that shares it with these people and be a part of their health journey. So we're 25 years old. Our company is 48 years old. Our product has been around for 25 years, which is pretty unique in this space, very unique. But it's a lot, right? 25 years, we've accomplished a lot. Well, the truth is we're just at the beginning. Starbucks was 25 years old in 1996. What if you could have gone into Starbucks in 1996? Or what about Apple in 2001 or Whole Foods in 2005? We really are at the beginning. Some people will learn about this product and hear how amazing it is and say, well, then how come it isn't everywhere? Well, it's still being shared. That's our responsibility. We need to get out there and make sure it gets everywhere. If your doctor isn't telling you about it, you need to tell your doctor about it. This is our responsibility, and we get paid for this to be our responsibility. So I started to dream, right? Speaking of dreaming, I had never done it before. I thought, what if I could work from anywhere, right? What if I didn't have to be at this desk every single day? What if I woke up to passion? So I love to tell this story here. I worked in IT staffing. I helped to support AT&T and Charter, and I helped staff their IT needs, okay? So one day, I'm sitting across from this hiring manager, and he's talking to me about Spectrum's network upgrade, which is really thrilling. I'm teasing. It's not interesting at all. I don't care about it. And in the middle of him talking about Charter's network upgrade, it dawns on me, I don't care at all about this. I am not passionate about this at all. And then I look at him, and I think, he doesn't care either. But the sad thing is, he doesn't even know that he doesn't care. Because for 30 years, they've probably paid him 80 to 100 grand for him to believe that he cares about Charter's network upgrade. But when you can throw passion behind something, you're going to hear from someone in a second whose son, life, the projection of his health was totally changed by the fact that I was able to share these powder capsules with her. That I can get passionate about and fired up about. What if I could earn an income by doing well for others? In my full-time job, it really wasn't the case. What if I had unlimited income potential? Because I love to earn a living. I love to make money, and I like to make good money. And I don't believe we should feel sorry for that. So what if you could get into something that can continue to grow? And here we are, we save, right? We're saving for retirement. I hope you are. You should be. But what if you looked at retirement and you thought, okay, what if I have an extra $1,000 a month come in? What if it was $5,000 a month? What if it was $10,000 a month, $20,000 a month? What if you had benefits that weren't tied to a 9-to-5 job? See, there are some things we've just accepted as societal norms that don't have to be normal. I know of many people, some of my parents' friends who maybe financially can retire, but one of them's working, and they're 62 because they got to wait till they get their benefits. What if you could have benefits from an amazing company that didn't require that you be at a desk every day for 8 to 10 hours a day? And then my big dream, which is to bring my husband home early, which I will do. But I started to really dream, and maybe that'll just be what you take from this call, is to just think differently and dream a little bit. And I decided at that point, this is me with my daughter, when she was probably, 6 or 8 weeks old, at a training for Juice Plus. I decided that I was a better investment than my full-time job. I decided that it was better for me to do the work on myself, to do the work in my business, that I could control that for our future. I worked in my job. I found Juice Plus. I was able to leave a year later and be home, be present with my kids, building something I was incredibly passionate about. And I didn't leave just to be a stay-at-home mom. I left my job because I was a better investment, because this was a better investment. This product, this company, and me were a better investment than me trading time for dollars. It was going to make a more massive, a more impactful impact. This is not good. I'm not speaking well. This is going to make a bigger difference for our family 5 and 10 years down the road than if I continue just to be on that hamster wheel. And so This is a group of people. The girl here on the left, a group of women that I care greatly about. The girl down here on the left, she was having these weak spells, unable to go out with her 2 children, not feeling well, not having any answers. This beautiful blonde up here's daughter was suffering really badly from asthma. The girl right here with the curls had no idea that you could earn an income, from home that wasn't tied to a 9 to 5. This girl right here with the glasses, she has cystic fibrosis, and she learned more through our company than she had ever learned through her many, many, many hundreds of doctor visits about nutrition and the impact that they can have on a chronic disease. And then this beautiful nurse here on the right's daughter was on 6 different prescription medications at the age of 2. Okay, so all of these people were impacted by the Juice Plus product and the Juice Plus business. And I got to be a part of that. I didn't share directly with all of them, but I was a part of their story. So the point of this image is to tell you, if you know about this product, people are out there waiting for you. There are people that you need to open your mouth. You need to tell people about it because people are there. They're ready. They're just waiting for us to stand up and say something. So these are the people that are number 1 in my life, right? We all have those people that if we could spend any time with, it would be with them. And because of this business and this opportunity, they have become number 1 with my time. And that's really what I think bothers me the most about our society right now, is that what is number 1 in our heart is not number 1 with our time. And it bothers me that we settle for that, because there are opportunities out there for you to take what is number 1 in your heart and make it number 1 with your time. So what I ask is that you don't dismiss it, right? So many people hear about this, but they think, oh, it's for her. Oh, she's crazy, weirdly passionate. You just get the people who want to talk right now. There are many people in our business that don't want to be behind this computer screen talking to you. Anybody can do it. You're not on this call as an accident. You found this product, you found this business for a reason. So think about it, pay attention. Okay, so at this time, I'm going to stop talking and introduce my beautiful friend, Julie. So Julie is a neighbor of mine. That is how we met. She has this beautiful family, 8 children. She is obviously a wife and a mother, and she's a homeschooling mother. So if you don't think you have enough time, Julie unfortunately ruins that for all of us. But she's going to talk about, okay, this is sounding kind of cool, right? The product is awesome. The business is just as awesome. But how do you really do it? What do you really do? How do you get started? So take it away, Jules.
Oh, okay, so I'm taller than you, Julie.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Whoa.
Just a little bit,
I'm
second.
still taller than you. Okay, yeah, I
Okay.
think that's good.
You're good?
Yes.
Well, maybe they can't see you.
Yes, hello all. I want to apologize because I'm sounding kind of froggy and I just have lost my voice. And I do homeschool all those people, so I had to still teach and do lessons. And so by the end of the evening, I'm feeling it a little. I want to share my story. As Julie said, we are neighbors. And I have always had a passion for nutrition, and that started really when I got pregnant and figured out that I was growing another human being and I was going to do it out of what I was putting in my mouth. So all of a sudden, after 27 years of not really caring, I started to care. I love to read, so I just began learning and researching and just started making small steps in a different direction than I had lived previously. I kind of grew up in the low-fat generation of kids where Snackwells were the thing, right? The big green box that had low-fat cookies so you could eat the whole box and not feel bad. But I was growing and learning, and my kids were really generally healthy until my sixth son ended up with pretty severe asthma. So this wasn't the type of asthma that you got after you ran or was exercise induced, which when I was a kid was the only kind of asthma I really knew about. But this was asthma that came out of nowhere and ended him up in the emergency room and in the hospital every single time. And the last time that happened, it was in the pediatric intensive care unit where we spent 3 nights. So it was getting serious. And I finally had an appointment with the asthma doctor. And he said, well, looking at this, even though it's happening every 6 months, we're going to have to start him on daily steroids. At that point, he was 4 years old, and I just was not comfortable with daily steroids. They sent me home with four different prescriptions, emergency inhaler, a daily inhaler, a nebulizer, and who knows what. And I just, in doing my own research, I just really felt like there had to be something else, that those steroids were going to, be a crutch, but they weren't going to do anything to address the core of the issue. Meanwhile, I have Julie, who you just heard from, who's continuing to tell me about Juice Plus, and I'm continuing to politely decline. And part of that's just because I hadn't heard about it, and I thought if it had been really something great, I would have heard about it. But here's the reality. She shared it's only in like 2% of homes. So it's not actually surprising that I hadn't heard about it, because lots of people hadn't. I was desperate because I really didn't want to do the steroid thing. So I finally said, fine, I'll try it. And she shared that actually we could get it for free, because the company will sponsor a child for free if an adult is taking it. So a woman I have never met to this day named Judy totally altered the course of my son's life when she sponsored Elijah, who began taking these fruits and vegetables in the capsule, and he would literally just chew up the capsules. And it's been 2 years. Actually, this week will mark 2 years since his last hospital visit, 2 years since his last asthma attack of any sort, of any importance. So I couldn't be more excited. I started to look more at the product, figure out that, oh my gosh, well, if this is good for him, it's good for all of us. And if you look at that picture, there's 10 of us, so that's a lot of Juice Plus. We go through a bottle of Juice Plus every 10 days. There's 120 capsules in each of the bottles, and we're going through one every 10 days. So I was trying to figure out how I was going to pay for this product, and my husband is wonderful and does a great job providing for us as a pastor, but pastor's budget, 10 people, and Juice Plus were not equating. So I wanted to look a little bit more into the business. I love to promote things. I love to share things. And just like Julie said, that's what we do naturally. We tell people about the best book we just read, about the best movie we just saw. So for sure, I'm going to tell people. So I jumped in and started learning more about how I was going to share this with people. So I want to just tell you, it's been like 15 months since I started. So you're hearing from a whole different, all the women that are sharing. Jeanette's been doing this a really long time. Allie, a little more. Julie, about 4 or 5 years. And for me, it's just a year. So I want to just tell you kind of boots on the ground what I've been doing. So what I started out with was $50. That's all it costs to become a partner with the Juice Plus company, which is amazing to think for $50 you can have your own business. Like, how does that happen? But it does. And for $50 I began, and then I just made a list of people that I really wanted to share with. And I brought my list. It's here in a little moleskin notebook, and it's got coloring all over it, because then my kids colored all over it, and it wasn't perfect, and it wasn't pretty, and it still isn't, and I still use this, but that's all I did. I started writing down people that I wanted to share this product with.
Okay, sorry, I guess we had a little bit of a technical difficulty. Hold on just 1 minute.
Okay.
Sorry.
You're fine. Down here.
Yeah, I'm trying to hit from current slide. Stop. Get away. Okay. All right, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, no, that's okay. So it's not like I had to do it all tomorrow. This was going to have to fit into my life. I'm homeschooling mom. I'm pastor's wife. I run a co-op connecting local people to local farms out of my backyard. I had a lot going on. But I did write everybody down that I thought would want to know about this. I wrote the doctors that are in my life down. I wrote just old friends, new friends, people that I thought would get it. And I just began sharing. And that's really how I started. So you needed $50, you needed 50 names. And then as I've done this, I want to show this antiquated, what we would call as a flywheel. This was actually my husband who got this slide, and he said, Julie, that's what this business is like. It's like a giant flywheel, which these gigantic wheels used to power plants. They used to make energy to do things, right? And you can see these gentlemen standing there. And he said, that is what this business is like. It is like this flywheel that you have to begin to apply pressure to. And you can imagine if you're all by yourself there and you're trying to move this wheel, it's going to take a lot of effort to do that. And in the beginning, as I got started, it did take a lot of effort. It was just me, right? But then I found some friends who I shared this with, and they were health-minded, and they were like, oh my gosh, this totally makes sense. Yes, I want to join. And so now it's the three of us pushing this wheel ahead a little bit at a time. And I'm seeing 15 months in how I am not working any harder. I'm going to be real honest with you. I probably work maybe 5 to 8 hours a week with Juice Plus. And I'm not working any more than that, but my income just keeps going up every single month, which is amazing. So you need that flywheel mentality in the beginning, because this is not, and maybe Julie already said this is not a get rich quick sort of thing, but it can be a get rich slow. And it is slow and steady, and I have seen that. It is not fluctuating. It's not going up and down. It's just steadily increasing a little bit at a time. And then, is this right here? And then the next thing you need is fortitude. And so that goes a little bit with the flywheel. I mean, fortitude is really, what is fortitude? It's a great word. And I heard somebody say in this business, that's what makes a person successful. It's somebody that shows fortitude. So fortitude is having courage and determination when you face adversity. And when you can do that, when you get your first no, or somebody isn't really understanding or getting excited about the thing you're getting excited about, just knowing that you can just move on and shake it off. So that is how you get started. And I am going to pass this off now to my new friend, Emily, who, fun fact about her, she started this business when she was 20, which I love. And she's been working it full-time ever since she was in college, and now that she's out of college, she's working it full-time, and she recently got engaged. So we'll be getting married here this year, right?
Next year.
Next year. Okay. All right. So here's Emily.
Thanks, Julie. Okay, you guys, we have no excuses. Are you kidding me? She's like total boss babe mom. Thanks, Julie. Okay, well, I'm a little shorter than Julie, so let me adjust the screen. You don't have to be a certain height to do this business. Okay, well, I'm really excited to wrap up this call, finish this up tonight, and if you're watching the recording, this is really the last part of this call, and I'm so honored because I'm here because of all of these amazing women, and my journey really started about 6 years ago. I was in college at the time, so I grew up playing soccer. A little bit of backstory on me. I grew up playing soccer. When I went up to college, I started training in half and full marathons, so I started running a lot because I stopped playing soccer, and I was the girl getting sick every 4 to 6 weeks. I was on some type of antibiotic. I was sick for something, most of the time strep throat. And I kind of just thought it was normal, you guys. I thought getting sick that often was normal. And whether it was the common cold or strep or mono or the flu, I was getting sick. And so it wasn't until after my full marathon that I really hit like an all-time low. And I realized that I needed to change something. So I was physically fit, but I was far from nutritionally fit. So I could run literally 26 miles, but I laid in bed for 2 days afterwards. And it's because I had so much inflammation in my body. And so my body wasn't getting exactly what it needed. So when I finally let Juice Plus come into my life, after my dear friend Casey and best friend shared it with me for a while, I finally looked into the education of everything we've been talking about tonight, fueling your body with real whole food. And none of us are perfect, but Juice Plus for me was a way to bridge the gap between what I wasn't getting and what I should have been getting. So since then, obviously these pictures, you can see a little bit of a difference. The picture to the left is my senior year of high school. Yes, I was with Adam, so we always joke around that he gained the weight that I lost. But I feel completely different. So I feel healthier now than I did even when I was 19 years old, training for my marathon. So fast forward, I have not been on a single antibiotic in over 5 years, which is a huge blessing. And the foods that I eat today, you couldn't have paid me to eat years ago. So my taste buds have changed. What I crave has changed, and everything that you see on the outside, multiply that, all the good things that are happening on the inside. So for me, my health story, I was starting to feel better, and I said yes to the business, like Julie said, when I was right before my 20th birthday. And it was a really exciting time because a lot of millennials and younger people were getting into this, and I was majoring in marketing and advertising, and I just saw, at least this could be a hobby, at least this could be something fun for me to do. And my, moving on in my senior year of college. But what I didn't really realize is fast forward a year later, I was making an awesome part-time income. I was able to quit one of my desk jobs. So I was working as a full-time nanny, I was a full-time student, and I was working at the student union. So I was able to let go one of those jobs. And I really started to focus more on my future. I had amazing mentors in this community that kept asking me, where do you want to be in 5 to 10 years? And I think we can all agree, no matter what age we're at, we don't have a lot of people in our corner asking us those questions. And so because of that question over and over again, I really got to think where I wanted to be in 5 to 10 years. And if getting that 9 to 5 dream job that I had grown up through college, high school and college in my marketing life, what that was going to do and serve me. So I look back on graduation and I call it like walking away from normal. It was not easy. I got a lot of people looking at me like I had a third eyeball and like I was crazy. Even my parents, they didn't really understand what I was doing, but thankfully and fortunately they did support me. And so now here I am 5 years into my journey with the company. And one of the reasons this unique, and I call it a hybrid business model, is so amazing is because of the corporate benefits package that someone talked about earlier, I think Julie. And it's because that's one of the reasons I was able to say yes to this. I knew that I was going to need a benefits package to support myself and my family one day. And without that, I probably wouldn't have been able to say yes to this as a full-time gig. So because of that, fast forward here, now I'm 25 years old. I work this business full-time. The benefits package, they offered at the top 2 positions, and it's absolutely amazing. And so what I want to paint a vision for you guys tonight is, I know a lot of times throughout this call, we've talked about, it's not a get rich quick, it's a get rich slow, it's sustainable, it's all about longevity. But I do want to talk about just what you can create with something that we call club levels. So I'm going to click here, and this is something we call building a jackpot business. So you'll hear us kind of talk about a couple different ways. We call it a jackpot business. We call it qualifying your business. We also call it a club. But really, this is just taking care of your own circle of people that you may or may not know, being able to eat Juice Plus every day. So it looks like about 24 Trio customers. Once again, this doesn't happen overnight, but all of us have been able to build, this is our foundation of who we take care of to eat Juice Plus. To be able to make a lot of money in this business, you really don't need to have hundreds of customers, which thankfully that's amazing because I don't want to take care of hundreds of people. What we do is we take care of our table of people. We take care of our community, and we go and tell other people about this jackpot business, and we help them do the same exact thing. So it's helping other people do a little bit and take care of their table. So we call this the jackpot business. And if we go to the next slide, you can see how these clubs create a sustainable income. So promotions and titles are great, but if we talk about income and building income, it's really looking at the club levels. And my favorite part of this is most of the time, like I know Jeanette talks about this a lot, she didn't know mostly any of us before this business or after this business. Now I'm getting my words twisted up. But it's really cool because you don't have to know everyone in your business. You help a couple people and they help people they know. And it's just amazing. So as you can see, this club level really just breaks down, this page really just breaks down the club levels and the monthly income that you can make. These are really low averages, you guys. But it's awesome just to know that you can help a few people and make an extra $1,000 a month. So I just wanted to paint a bigger vision for you. I know Julie kind of mentioned what you could make, and whether it's a little bit or a lot, this business is so amazing. But what I really want to encourage you guys as we leave this call tonight, hopefully you guys can see my face. Somehow it's on my other frozen face. But as we leave this call tonight, I really just want to encourage you guys to take a moment, whether it's right now, I think we have a couple minutes left, take a piece of paper out, and even as this call ends, before you go to bed tonight, write down 5 things that you would love to achieve in the next year. Maybe that's financially, maybe that's something with relationships you have, maybe that's something in your life at some point. What would you love to achieve in the next year? And then maybe think about 5 years. And when you look at those things, what income would help you make achieve those goals? Because here's the thing, you guys, money just provides options. So as we look at this income, my favorite part about this marketing plan, and as we build our paychecks, a lot of us have talked about this amazing income we've built. Every single dollar we earn is a direct reflection of how many lives we're changing. So it's a win-win-win all across the board. And I just really encourage you guys to think about where you want to be in the next year and 5 years, and writing those things down will take you one step closer. And this is an amazing vehicle to get you guys there. So we thank you guys so much for being on the call. If you're watching the recording, thank you guys so much. I think we're all going to come on here and say,
You can just tell them to reach out.
Yeah, reach out to the person who invited you to this call. Maybe someone sent you this recording. We encourage you guys to get back with us, connect with us. We're all going to come on here and just say good night. And thank you guys so much for being on. Have an awesome night.
Thank you.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye. Thank you.